Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. So back with part two of the quarantine lyrics from various Beatles songs. So I did five in a previous video, and today I'm going to do the what I consider the top five. Okay, so at number five is Within You, Without You, which is a song written and sung by George Harrison off the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. And so I'll sing the opening part. We were talking about the space between us all and the people who hide themselves behind a wall. Okay, so in the song, the talking about space and hiding yourself behind a wall is kind of more figurative, but obviously in the quarantine social isolation scenario, we are talking about physical space. Keep 6 feet or 2 meters away from other people. Stay in your house behind the walls. But what the song is really saying is that you shouldn't let yourself, be isolated from other people, and even as in this situation, if you're not, physically in contact with them. So later in the song, there's, another set of lyrics I'm going to quote. Once you've seen beyond yourself, you may find peace of mind is waiting there. Okay, so, what that's saying is that, really it is going to be good for you to, reach out with other people. A lot of people have, speculated that social distancing is much easier for people who are introverted than extroverted. And on a surface level, I think that's true. However, I think, because they miss the social interaction, extroverts tend to reach out more quickly to other people and do a better job of keeping in contact with them. And that's probably something that, introverted people, and I talk to myself as one, need to, pay attention to, reach out to other people, and that may give you peace of mind. Okay, so song number 4 is Photograph by Ringo Starr off his solo album Ringo in 1973, and it was co-written with George Harrison. So the two Beatles members who weren't Lennon and McCartney actually wrote the song, and it became a #1 hit in the U.S. Every time I see your face, it reminds me of the places we used to go. But all I've got is a photograph, and I realize you're not coming back anymore. Okay, so in the song, my interpretation of the lyrics, that's maybe about a relationship that's ended, and you're seeing a person, the photograph of a person who used to be close to you, and now they're no longer in your life. Now, after George Harrison died, Ringo sang this song as in the benefit concert. And sort of dedicated it to George, in sort of a different meaning of the song, that, this person has passed away and you're never going to see them in person anymore. Now, for the isolation situation, it's not true in most cases that, people are going to be out of our lives forever, but, you can't see them in person for a while. Be that as, you can, see a photograph that, you either have or that they, send to you on Instagram or post on Facebook or, whatever social media, or you can video conference with them. But there is this isolation, and people often say that they feel somewhat less connected to people, because they're no longer in personal contact. So, admittedly, that's something that is challenging. Okay, so song number 3 is "Watching the Wheels" by John Lennon. This is off of the double fantasy album done with Yoko Ono in 1980. Okay. People say I'm lazy, dreaming my life away. Well, they give me all kinds of advice designed to enlighten me. I tell them that I'm doing fine, watching shadows on the wall. Don't you miss the big time, boy? You're no longer on the ball. Okay, so some of these lyrics remind me of a video that my friend Rebecca Pebble posted a few weeks ago, having to do with quarantine and social isolation. And one of the messages she put in that video is, "It's okay to be unproductive." Now, which relates to a little bit of the background of the song. John is saying, okay, people say I'm lazy because I'm not doing anything. Well, what that actually means is that in 1975 he took a hiatus from the music business for 5 years to raise his son Sean. Partly because the first time around in fatherhood with his son Julian, at the height of the Beatles, he kind of admitted he didn't do a very good job parenting and wanted to do that better the second time around. So he just stayed home, raised his son, and then the album in 1980 was his re-entry into the music business. Okay, so what this says, I think, for people who find themselves kind of in this case a forced time out, due to maybe your job is ended or is on hiatus, or you're forced to socially isolate. Maybe you should welcome this break from your normal life. A lot of times we tell ourselves, well, I'd really like to do this if I only had the time. Well, in many cases now we do have the time. You can take up a new hobby, learn about something new that you just couldn't have made time for. Just explore different aspects of your life to maybe find new interests and knowledge, perspectives on life, and use the time productively. It's not all about productively, but that doesn't mean that you have to get so many things done in a day. Sometimes productive can be just thinking or learning about new things. Okay, so number 2 is "Band on the Run" by Paul McCartney and Wings, written by Paul, from the 1973 album of the same name. So the song starts off, "Stuck inside these 4 walls, sit inside forever, never seeing no one." Okay, so he's kind of feeling cooped up about, and isolated. And then the second stanza of the song, "If I ever get out of here, thought of giving it all away to a registered charity. All I need is a pint a day if I ever get out of here. Okay, so what the speaker in the song is saying, and what you might be finding in this period of time, is about reassessing your priorities. Maybe you decide, okay, what I thought was important, what I have made the focus of my life, maybe isn't really that important a thing to me anymore, and maybe I should go off in a different direction. Maybe I didn't really need all of the things that I thought I needed, or they ultimately just don't mean that much to me. Okay, and the number one song, and I'll say that this is the number one song because really seeing a video for this is what led me down the path of doing this list. And this is The Inner Light, which is by George Harrison. It was the B-side of a single with Lady Madonna released in 1968. Without going out of your door, you can know all things on earth. Without looking out of your window, you could know the ways of heaven. Okay, so George's son Dhani made a video, a at-home quarantine video of him singing his father's song a few weeks ago, and then his mother, George's wife Olivia, pointed out that these lyrics are very relevant to the current situation. And I find this kind of a very hopeful song that it's possible to be part of the world, connect with the world, understand the world, the physical world and spirituality, without necessarily having to leave your house or physically being in contact. Your mind can move much more widely and with much less risk of infection than your body can. So anyway, that completes my list. Hope you've enjoyed that, and hope it's given you some interesting perspectives and things to think about during this time. And mostly, hope you're all doing well. It can be very stressful for a lot of people. Please, pay attention to your own well-being and mental health, and also those around you and people that you know and love. So thank you, and be well, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon, everybody.